On December 29th, 2022, I published my very first YouTube video. And over the next year and a bit, I published over 40 more videos and spent well over 200, probably over 250 hours editing. And then on April 1st, 2024, and no, it was not an April Fool's joke, I finally got monetized. Yay! Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Elena, and today we are talking about my monetization journey as a lifestyle YouTuber. Now, I want to start by saying that I think that distinction is important because when I was looking for videos like this, I did end up finding a few, but a lot of them were from people who teach YouTube strategy, YouTube growth, things like that. And that's just a different kind of channel than creating a more lifestyle, personality-based or vlogging kind of channel. So I'm going to preface by saying that while I do think that's an important distinction, it also means that I am not an expert on any of this YouTube growth stuff. I just wanted to share my journey, what it's been like, and what I have learned along the way so that if you are also growing a lifestyle YouTube channel, you can hopefully gain some little nuggets of wisdom from this. Let's start by talking about monetization requirements, just so we're all on the same page. If you didn't know, to get monetized on YouTube, meaning to join the YouTube Partner Program and then get a cut of the ad revenue that YouTube puts on your videos, you need to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. YouTube also recently introduced a lower level monetization option where you only need 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours. So I think it's important to mention that that doesn't give you the ad revenue sharing piece of the monetization, which is how most YouTubers make their money. That just gives you like super thanks, super stickers, I think channel memberships, stuff like that, where basically your audience would be the ones paying you. Chances are, if you have only like a little over 500 subscribers and you're a newer channel, I mean, never say never. Maybe people have done this, which is fantastic. Drop your wisdom in the comments below. But I think on average, not a lot of people actually make money from only hitting that level. So those are the requirements. And I think the very first thing I want to share is that a lot of people kind of assume that getting subscribers is the difficult part and it's what they really focus on. And absolutely, you do need to get to a point where you hit 1,000 subscribers. We'll talk about how long that took me personally in a minute, but I also found it really interesting and also surprising at how much harder it is to gather watch hours. Also, the fact that you need 4,000 watch hours and only 1,000 subscribers makes a difference. Personally, I found the watch hours much harder to rack up and especially to get to the 3,000 or 4,000 mark, but it did eventually happen. So let's talk about how. So my journey started in December 2022, December 29th, so basically at the start of 2023. I started with 0 subscribers, just like everyone else. I don't really have a huge following anywhere else on the internet. I did have a little over 1,000 Instagram followers at the time, so I obviously did promote it on there. But honestly, not a lot came in from there. Not that many people transfer over, at least when you have a bit of a smaller audience. So it's pretty much like starting from 0. I think, actually, let's check so we can talk about real numbers here. So within the first couple of weeks of starting my YouTube channel, I had a grand total of 18 subscribers and like 11 watch hours. So not much at all. My first couple of videos were vlogs, day in the life type of stuff. Then I also had more of like a sit down talking video like this, talking about 2 types of life goals. And then I posted my 4th YouTube video ever. And I did not expect this, but it kind of took off. I should say, I feel like I was very just like lucky in a sense. I mean, lucky in a sense, but also I can see the things I did that contributed to this video's success kind of in retrospect. But obviously having your 4th ever video take off within the first month of starting your channel is really not that common. I mean, people do it. There are people whose first ever video take off. I'm thinking of Indoor Cat just blew up off of her very first video. It was very well done, so I can absolutely see why. And I'm subscribed to her because I like her stuff. But obviously stories like this are not the norm. There are many channels that take several years to get monetized, if not longer. So I do want to kind of lower the expectations if you have not yet started your channel, or if you're kind of like kicking yourself after trying for so long. This is absolutely not the norm. But let's talk about that video that initially took off and gave my channel a bit of a kickstart. That was my Plan My Week With Me video, and currently it sits at over 30,000 views. Obviously, it's probably gotten like ranked somewhere in the search results so that it keeps coming up and people do continue to watch it and find it even over a year later now. But really after it blew up, it kind of continued to kind of gain that momentum for about a month. So let's look at a month out from when I published that video. So within the first 30 days, that video got over 18,000 views, about 768 watch time hours, which I was so excited about, and it brought in over 400 subscribers within that first month, which again, totally not the standard I think for YouTube and kind of wild, but it did really help, I think, give my channel a bit of a kickstart. And to jump from like less than 50 subscribers to having over 400 in a month, that was pretty cool, and I definitely don't take that bit for granted. But let's talk about why I think that video actually did so well so early on a channel that had like almost nothing else on it. Number one is of course the thumbnail. If I had to guess, I feel like this thumbnail kind of hit a lot of things that really enticed people to want to watch it and click on it. Number one, it has a very clear title going right across the top that says my weekly planning routine, which you'll note is different than the actual like written title under the video, and that's on purpose because my weekly planning routine was actually a really less than ideal keyword for me to use, and plan my week with me was much better. How did I know that? I knew that because I was using TubeBuddy and I was only on the free plan. I now pay for TubeBuddy, but I really only recently started paying for it, like literally within the last month or two, I think. At the time, I was just using their free version, which obviously limits what you can do, but I tried to take full advantage of whatever I could get for free, and that meant doing keyword research. So weekly planning routine I knew was something that was going to be kind of interesting and important because I knew a lot of people were searching for it thanks to TubeBuddy. By the way, I'm not sponsored by them or anything. That's what I use. Because I didn't want to put it in the title because I knew it wouldn't be good for that, I put it in the thumbnail instead to capture attention. I also had my face visible, pretty centered and clear. Faces do tend to do pretty well in thumbnails, just in general. People like seeing people, and so that's always helpful. I was also holding up my planner, and the background photos were of my planner being open, which I think is enticing to people because people want to know, what planner are you using? What does that look like? What's the structure like? And then I also had some text that said in under 30 minutes. So I think the combination of all of those things really helped with catching people's attention on the YouTube homepage to begin with, because remember I had very few subscribers at the time, so this was just from popping up on people's homepage. Another reason I think this video took off is because it was a plan with me video, which is a very common topic and a very common kind of style of video that a lot of lifestyle or productivity YouTubers do. And I think that was also really helpful, and we'll talk more about not reinventing the wheel later once we get to my tips. And finally, the third reason this video did really well is that it had a really good retention rate. Well, I don't know if this is considered really good. I don't think it is actually compared to some other YouTubers, but for me, it was considered a pretty good retention rate, meaning viewers were watching for a longer period of time. So right now it's saying that the video is sitting at about 59% of viewers still watching around the 30-second mark, which is above typical, at least for me. Average view duration was 2 minutes and 32 seconds. Again, that was higher than my other videos at the time because YouTube could see that people were actually watching the video and were actually sticking around. It decided to push that video to more people. As I have learned in my YouTube journey, how long people watch your video for is actually really important for the performance of your video and for whether or not YouTube is going to choose to push it out. So what did I do with this information after this video blew up? Not too much, to be honest. After that, I just kind of continued testing out different video topics, different video styles. I had a video about books that initially actually didn't do too well, but it has racked up some attention since because it was really optimized for search. I had another day in the life vlog. I had a travel vlog because I did go on a trip that February. That video, again, didn't really take off right away, but it was one that kind of slowly but surely gathered views over time. So I just continued posting. My goal was to post weekly, and I did do pretty well with sticking to that for the first few months of my channel. Then towards the springtime, I did have just kind of some personal stuff going on. I found it a little difficult to really stick to it, but I only ended up publishing one video in April. In May, I kind of got back to it. Only one video in June. Apparently, I just didn't post in July. Great. I think I might have actually just posted like some shorts and stuff, but no long form video, which is really what I was focusing on. And that inconsistency kind of continued on until the fall and December. Like I said, I would have loved to post every week, and I do think that had I posted every week, I probably would have gotten to monetization, to 1,000 subscribers sooner, possibly within the calendar year. But if you have watched one of my previous videos, maybe 2 or 3 videos back, you will know that I am also currently going through a separation and divorce, and last summer was when a lot of that was kind of being discussed and kind of taking place in my life, and so it was a really emotional time, and it was really hard to focus on both the work that I do that I actually get paid for, that I have to have to focus on, and then also doing this on top of just being really emotionally all over the place. But I did my best, and sometimes you just have to give yourself some grace for that. After that video blew up, my analytics did eventually, after about a month or so, return back to baseline, and nothing else really took off for the majority of the rest of the year. There were a couple of small spikes here and there, but nothing kind of really massive. Even though I got my first 400 subscribers within a couple of months, within those first 2 months, it did take me the rest of the year to get about 500 more. I did end my first year on YouTube with just a little over 900 subscribers. My goal was 1,000, but again, because of the inconsistency and the other stuff that was going on, I was pretty proud of myself just for getting that far, and I knew that hitting 1,000 was not too far off. For watch time hours, I ended my first year on YouTube with about 1,800, about 1,100, almost 1,200 of those actually coming from that one single video. So what I really took away from this is that one video has the potential to completely change everything. And the first 3 months of 2024 definitely proved that to be true. I kicked off the following year with much better commitment to consistency, and I did post pretty much every week for those first few months. Then on February 27th, 2024, I posted my video titled Starting My Life Over at 30, which is the video that blew up my channel. So if you found me through that video, welcome, say hi in the comments, and thank you for still being here and watching my other videos. That was really the one that did it. And this one blew up, I think, for different reasons than the other video. But again, in retrospect, I'm also not super surprised that this is the video that kind of took off. First off, again, thumbnail wise, it's pretty simple as me like sitting there, but again, the face is visible, which I think is helpful and important in thumbnails. And then the text says, "My old life is gone forever." Kind of dramatic, but also true, because that's a video where I was talking about my separation, about moving back in with my parents, about what's next for me, how I'm starting my life over at 30. And so it was a bit more of like a storytelling vlog style video, but because it was so vulnerable and open, and the topics that I was talking about were so relevant and relatable to so many people. I mean, after seeing the comments, I was kind of amazed by how many people have been through similar situations or have found themselves in similar circumstances. And so I think that video just really resonated with people on that level, which is great, which makes me really happy. I think helping other people feel a little less alone in life and in life experiences, and especially through difficult times, is definitely one of the things that really like gets me excited about sharing online and sharing on YouTube. So I'm just like really happy that that video was able to do that. And obviously that the video also took off. Within the first month of publishing that video, it got over 67,500 views. Which is kind of wild to me. Like, what? Where did these people come from? This is also the video that catapulted me to 1,000 subscribers and beyond. To date, that video alone has brought in over 1,500 subscribers. And very quickly, it also gave me the watch hours that I needed. Initially, it first got me over that 3,000 hour threshold. Okay, so a few days ago, I just reached the 3,000 watch hour level for monetization on YouTube. So I got an email that basically says, "Congratulations, you are now eligible," and then tells you like what features you're going to have access to. And then it has a button that says apply now, or you can just go to your YouTube studio under the earn tab and it'll have an apply now button there. And because the video was continuing to do well, it very quickly, I think maybe it was like about a week or so between when I hit the 3,000 and then when I hit the 4,000 hours for watch time. To date, this video has brought in over 3,400 watch hours. So very grateful that I decided to post this video, because I actually was considering not. This is your sign to be experimental with your content and throw things out there even if you are not sure, because who knows, that might be the one video that catapults you and gets you monetized. In terms of applying for monetization, like I said, YouTube will send you an email and then invite you to apply. It's a pretty simple process. Finally, let's talk about a few of the things that I learned from my monetization journey so far. are and the tips that I would personally have to give new lifestyle YouTubers. Tip number one by far is don't reinvent the wheel. Within your niche and within the lifestyle niche, there are a lot of kind of popular video topics, popular video styles, and they are popular for a reason. So things like morning routines or plan with me. That plan with me video took off. My morning routine video, it didn't necessarily blow up, but it was one of the videos that performed pretty well. So that's something that I wish I had just done sooner. Now, not every single popular video idea or popular video topic is obviously going to blow you up, but like I said, they're popular for a reason. And I think because viewers and the audience is already used to watching those types of videos, they might be a little more open to watching your video. Someone they don't know, they don't have any attachment to, someone might be much more open to watching a video like that from you, specifically because it feels a little less risky. They already know what to kind of expect from a plan with me or from a morning routine video or an evening routine video or whatever the case is. A cleaning vlog, right? Like it depends on what kind of fits with the content that you're making. So there's certain things that I obviously didn't do because it's not really in alignment for the kind of stuff that I want to post, which is fine. But the ones that are, definitely try them out. The one caveat here is just to make sure that you are actually posting about things that you want to be posting about and things that you want to continue talking about, because as you can see, it really only takes one video to kind of catapult your channel to the next level. And if that one video that takes off actually isn't a video that you enjoyed making or isn't a topic that you're actually all that excited about, then you're kind of missing out. Like the audience that found you from that one video may be disappointed to find out that you don't actually post stuff like that regularly. They followed you because they liked that specific video, you know? So make sure that the videos that you are putting out there are videos that you would be okay to suddenly get thousands and thousands of views and bring in a bunch of new people. But also on the flip side, experiment. I tried to adopt this mindset from the very beginning. Try to see not having a lot of viewers, not having a lot of subscribers as a good thing. Take advantage of having a small audience and see this as an opportunity to really try a lot of new things. Try things that are a little different or a little out of the box. Do things that are maybe a little weird or experimental. You don't have a set audience that expects a certain type of content from you yet, which is amazing. That's a level of freedom that a lot of larger YouTubers don't actually have. And your income is not yet tied to your video performance, which means that if something flops, okay, you might have wasted some time creating it, but it's really not that big of a deal. You get to just try again next week. I think it's also really important to constantly be reevaluating your videos and trying to think of ways to make them better each and every time. That doesn't mean you're necessarily going to be proud of every video you make. I'm certainly not. There are a lot of times where I make a video and I'm like, you know what? My skill level is not high enough right now for me to make this any better at the moment, even though I know it could be better, even though I know something is off or something doesn't look quite the way that I wanted to, but I don't know how to do that yet. I post it anyways. It's about finding the balance between staying consistent and posting, but also making sure that you are putting in the effort to do better each and every time, because I mean, that's kind of your job. And unless you already have a background in like videography or something like that, chances are your first videos are not going to be the best, and that's okay. That's why it's kind of great to be a little unknown at the beginning so that you can work on your skill set without having too many eyeballs on you. So that's it. Those are my top tips so far from my YouTube journey, as well as the story behind my monetization. Let me know if you have any other questions for me in the comments below, and I would be happy to answer them either in the comments or in a future video. I do plan on doing a bit of an earnings report once I have some more information on how much YouTube is actually paying me. I can't believe I'm actually saying that. It's so wild to me that I'm actually getting paid, and I like see the little revenue tab and there's like dollar signs. Like, what is happening? Anyways, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching here. Thank you so much for being here. And if you are subscribed, thank you for being one of the people to get me to this point. This is so exciting, and I cannot wait to get to a point where I can allow myself to spend more and more time and money and effort on making these videos, because I'm going to have the financial support to be able to do so. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.